Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren, and unless you are watching this before the Tuesday when the Antorus raid is released, or you're watching this after Tuesday, and you're still trying to decide which spec or rogue you want to main when it comes to at least PvE content, then here's a video to tell you some of the things that you might want to consider. First of all, if the only thing you want to consider is simulation craft and sims, well then honestly you should all be playing a Fury Warrior instead. Now, of course, that's not all of us want to do, but we still do want to pick a spec that we want to main, and with the changes in Antorus, we're going to be getting a whole new gear set. We can get a full new set piece, and I think it's a great time for us to change the spec we're going to be playing and the spec we want to focus on. But with this sims, I mean, some people might even go as far as to actually reroll classes. I mean, it is looking kind of bad, but I just want to give you guys a few tips and ideas of what I'm going to do when it comes to Antorus and what is to come. I mean, my answer isn't really all that secretive. It's not really something that is hard to guess. It's pretty obvious, but I do want to give you guys some of my reasoning behind why I'm going with my spec of choice, and some of the ideas that you should consider when it comes to deciding which spec of rogue you want to play. Because again, great time to reroll, great time to, enjoy whatever amount of patch is left, and great time to just, kind of have a last start over and have a good hurrah when it comes to Legion. But let's first take a look at the first way of approaching the situation of choosing your spec. Why not play the spec you've been playing? I mean, let's say you're an Assassination Rogue and you're looking at the sims, and Assassin's looking pretty bad. I mean, literally at the bottom of the bar. It's kind of like a lot how Outlaw is when it comes to TOS. It's pretty bad. But the way I looked at Outlaw and TOS is, even though it's at the bottom of the bar, I feel like with me being as geared as I possibly can with the best legendaries that I can get and taking advantage of every single mechanic and learning my spec back to front. I'm not that great at it yet, but learning as much as I can back to front will still make me a better player than a random, let's take a look at the charts, a random Fury Warrior that might even be best in slot but doesn't know how to play their class and maximize it. I feel like a lot of the situations where a group raid or a group lead or a group of any PvEers will still take me for my experience with the class and my item stats than a random Fury Warrior that might have maybe the best gear but not the most optimized, maybe the best trinkets but not know how to use them properly, and maybe the best Legos but not being able to use them properly, might not know his rotation as well as I know mine. It's one of those things where even though your spec looks like it's pretty bad in sims, when it comes to actualized combat and gameplay, it doesn't always become this perfect cookie cutter picture. In most cases, players have their flaws, there's a human factor to it, and if you already know the spec like the back of your hand, even in a situation when you have, somewhat average players, unless you're going against the tippity top, best in slot, full mythic, best legendaries, know their class and could play it almost like a robot can, then in most cases you'll still do better than the average majority of the players in PvE content. And as you do better, you can do more Mythic Plus, so you can get invited to more Mythic Pluses. You do better in raids, so a raid group can pick you up for raids, and they would rather prefer you because you learn mechanics and your class plays fairly well and you know your class really well, so you can maximize it, than a random Fury Warrior who keeps running into mechanics and can't really play rotation just as well. That's something definitely to consider because you already invested so much time in a specialization. Even though it's looking pretty bad on sims, I mean, in the end, the experience and the human factor added to it, you still might be able to play better than some, and if not most, or I guess a good chunk of the players out there, just because you know your spec so well. You might not need to go and respecking just because it's looking bad on sims, because you already know your spec. You already know you can do well, so why not keep playing it and doing as well as you have been? And number two is, let's say you're somebody who wants to do well in a Mythic Plus, but you're also trying to figure out what you want out of the game as well. If I told you right now, what you should do is, let's say you want to be a Mythic Raider, play the best spec that you can possibly be. Which basically would mean, hey, stop playing Rogue, pick up a Fury Warrior right now. If you are somebody who is thinking, hey, I just want to be able to get in a Mythic group, world first, whatever, then some people are definitely going to be doing rerolls and sacrifices, but you're not like that. In most cases, players just want to enjoy whatever part of the game they can. Some people have a lot of time to play, like myself, as this is just basically what I do when it comes to videos. Some people have a few hours in a day, a few hours a week to play the game. So if you want to just enjoy whatever amount of patch that we have left in Antorus, you could just ask yourself a simple question: what do you like out of the game for PvE? If you're a huge fan of massive burst single target numbers and mostly great single target damage with some ability to cleave, you could just start playing Subtlety. I mean, yes, Subtlety might not be that great of spec and might not have the best 4-piece bonus, but it's still, when you log on and you play Subtlety and you see in the numbers and that's what satisfies you, why not do it? Why not play it? This way you won't be wasting your money paying 15 bucks a month, or however much gold you would be earning if you're just paying it through gold. You would just be able to get what you want out of the game when it comes to PvE. And I'm playing Outlaw right now in Heroic TOS. I'm farming it on every day, and it's not a huge feat, but I'm still able to play Outlaw. I'm still able to play the class I want to play, and if I can do that at least Heroic, which is, I guess would be the average more or less for majority of PvE raiders, Heroic is at least the average. I think a lot of people will still be able to play their favorite specs at least Heroic. Same thing goes for Assassination. If you're like somebody who you want to cleave, you want to do a lot of dot damage and just have overall a fun playstyle, why not play Assassination? It's your money, it's your time, you might enjoy it. And same thing goes to Outlaw. If you want to be the piratey spec that has a ability to cleave and single target and AoE at a whim and be very versatile when it comes to damage, and of course, again, you're a pirate, you could always just do that. So it could be a choice of like a personal choice of what you want out of the game for like this last patch. What would you enjoy? Maybe like a different playstyle, or maybe more of the same playstyle that you've been enjoying so far. Regardless of some of the ways you can pick your spec, I think I'm still gonna play Outlaw. I just been playing the spec for so long. I have the best gear, so for the first question, it's already a spec that I have gear for. And if I can get my 2-piece and 4-piece set bonus, because of my guild, I couldn't actually get the 2-piece and set bonus, and I was in Mythic Plus and whatnot, I kind of lost the ability to even be able to go back, because now that 2-piece, 4-piece set bonus gear is now low item level for me, unless I do all Mythic. I just got myself in this weird spot. So with Antorus, I'll be able to rebuild my spec and actually enjoy 2-piece and 4-piece set bonuses that I remember having, and this will be way better ones than that of Nighthold. I'm really excited to see exactly how well I can do with the spec, but I'm not really excited about Antorus. If Antorus has more of that Legion green, that green sickening color that a lot of us are probably tired of, I don't know if I'll be doing a lot of raiding in the last patch of Legion. But I am excited about Mythic Plus. I love doing Mythic Plus. And I feel like Outlaw is that versatile spec that has basically all your toolkit you need in order to do well in Mythic Plus. You bring a Gouge, you bring a Vanish with a cooldown reduction, you have Sprint, you are Rogue, so you survive a lot of mechanics, you have Cloak of Shadows that can heal you, which is insanely broken in some of the fights, and you can adapt to AoE, to cleave, to single target fight on a whim. So it's just very versatile and a lot of fun. For the most part, I play it because of the playstyle. Just every time you roll the bones, you never know what you're gonna get, and I still enjoy it to this day. But I am really just trying to consider myself in terms of PvE, what I want to play, and Outlaw just honestly right now fits my preference of mostly Mythic Plus, maybe Antorus. And with Antorus, I'm kind of hoping that it won't be TOS. In terms of TOS was mostly single target, just about every single boss fight, and there was a lot of soak mechanics. If they can do a little bit of mix up for mechanics and add maybe a few more mobs in there where Outlaw can shine, then I might enjoy the fights, and as long as there's just not too much of that green sickening Legion fell green color in there, then maybe, just maybe, I might be able to kind of get over and enjoy the raid. I'm still not sure, but I do know that I want to play Outlaw. I've just been playing so long, so that's kind of what is going to be part of my decision. So I guess with that in mind, I guess I could ask you guys, what spec are you going to play, or what spec are you planning on playing? Antorus is a great time to just start over and do something fresh, or do more of what you love. I've been really getting back into, I guess in a way, into Legion. I never really quit the game, but it was like I felt my enthusiasm go down over the past I think last month is when it kind of started, but as of recent I've just been getting more and more enthusiasm to do more stuff in Legion. I guess it was that hype for Battle for Azeroth that really got me all excited to play the game even more. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully this helps you guys decide which spec you want to play. Again, it's looking pretty bad for rogues, but I don't think it'll be bad in the long run. This is just one of many sims that we'll see, and probably one of many changes that Blizzard will do in the future. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully this helps you a few here and there. and I'll see all of you in the next video.